Hello everybody. So I want to talk about yesterday's crazy experience. So yeah, yesterday morning we all woke up and we had breakfast and done yet again another word circle, which was obviously super impactful. And then going into, say, yesterday's night ceremony with my intention was to understand how I can become the very best version of myself, so then that it positively impacts all areas of my life and the individuals that I come into contact with. So the mattresses got put out, and then we went through a guided meditation where we expressed, say, the love and forgiveness for our parents and anyone that potentially hurt us in the past. So yeah, it was a real nice meditation to start before we actually went into, say, taking the medicine. And I went up and took my first cup, and it wasn't that harsh actually yesterday. It was pretty okay, and it went down okay, to be fair. And then I felt the urge again to go and sit by the fire, and for about an hour I sat there by the fire and I just absorbed all of the energy from the fire and from the stars above. I was looking up into the stars and just observing and taking all the energy. And then I thought I need to make my way back to the mattress, so I stood up, and as I made my way back, instantly I just started to feel sick, and I thought, look, I'm going to purge. And before I even made it to the mattress, I had to sit on the step, put the bucket down, and I just purged straight into the bucket. And then after that I got myself into bed, and I just started to listen to the beautiful music, and I just started to look forwards at the music and the musicians that were obviously playing the taita. And after a couple of hours, yeah, it was now time to go up for the second cup. So yeah, I was excited. Obviously I'd purged already, so I was looking forward to take the second cup and to see if I'm ready to go on a journey. So I felt happy, I felt a lot of energy. And as I began to walk up to, say, take the second cup from the taita, the shaman, I felt really good energy from him and just for me as well. So as I'm walking up to him, I'm looking directly into his eyes, and again he's staring back into me, and it just looks like he's just staring straight into my soul. And as I'm walking up, he just starts to pour the cup, and this really thick tar-like ayahuasca, like sludge, poured into this cup, and it was so thick this time. And you know, he just started to bless it, and he didn't do what he normally done with just a little whistle. He started to bless it with all these crazy words, and you know, like he done this the other night to me as well, where he just blessed it like really longer than he usually does. And before he sort of finished blessing it, he just looked at me, and then he grabbed my head like this, and he put his thumb there right on my third eye, and it just made me go wow, and my head sort of just turned over. It was like my head was like a washing machine, my brain, and it just rolled over on itself. And then obviously I took the ayahuasca, and then he just kept saying what seemed to be like these enchanting words to me, and I'm just like taking it all in. So then obviously I went back down to my mattress, and about 30 minutes went by, nothing happened, and then literally out of nowhere, I just started to see these eyes in my brain, like these eyeballs popping out, and it was like some sort of crazy game. It was like a whack-a-mole sort of thing with eyes and these crazy shapes as well, and I was just taking it all in, and yeah, I was obviously tripping. And then yeah, again out of nowhere, I just started to see thousands of doors, like just rectangle doors everywhere, and these doors were different shapes and different sizes and different colors, for instance, different materials. And I was sort of overwhelmed by all of these doors, because as far as I could see, I just saw doors, and I was just thinking, like, what door do I go through? I don't know what door I should go through. So I just chose a door, and I just went through a door, and then the experience just went super crazy. I can't even really explain what happened over the next few hours. I just know it was super intense, and things were just happening so quick, where I couldn't really take time to even understand what was happening. It was happening so fast, and at one point my heart was so painful, and then my heart seemed to have stopped again, and it felt like I was going to purge, like top purge, bottom purge. And then I was just like, I'm gonna die, and it just felt like I died again at some point. And I realised, although that I was going through this challenging time, that I could handle whatever was being thrown at me and whatever was coming my way, and I was being able to push through the pain. So I was just saying that I trust the journey, and after those sort of couple of somewhat painful hours that went by and that rolled over, I sort of rolled my body over and I looked at the fire to my left, and then I just purged pure acid. It come out like strong lemon juice. So it was so strong and so acidy. And then after this violent purge, I lay there and I just listened to the beautiful music, and then I just heard this sort of demon-like voice whispering in my ear. I couldn't even understand what language it was talking, but it was whispering these strong words into my ear there. And then it started to shout at me. And I'm just like, look, I'm not going to listen to you, and I'm not going to let you make me lose focus of my, say, intention and my goal and my vision of what I want out of this experience. And then, yeah, I leaned over, and yeah, I said to myself, I'm going to look out to the fire and just keep going over what I learned over these couple of few hours that were slightly painful. And then, yeah, a few more hours went by and I laid and I just chilled. I relaxed my mind. And then after that, I just felt the need to go back to my actual bed, to the bunk bed. So I sort of packed all my stuff up. I got my things together and I felt obviously a bit better. And I just went back to bed and I had a real deep sleep. So yeah, last night's intention, last night's trip, last night's journey that I went on, I can honestly say that what I learned from those doors was, like, in life, we're going to have a lot of doors. We're going to come face to face with many different doors in our lives. But if we don't take the uncomfortable action to push through those doors, we're never going to know what's on the other side of them. And don't ever look at, say, any closed doors as a bad door. Like, there's no bad door in life. You go through the door, and whatever's on the other side of it, you make good. You make it become good. Yeah, it might not be potentially what you want on the other side, but you learn from that thing. And if it is what you want, yeah, you're one step closer to where you want to be. But if it isn't what you want, you're also one step closer, because you need to learn and understand what you don't want in life to eventually receive and get the things that you do want. So yeah, also last night, about the painful situations where I had pain in my heart, my stomach, my head, just everything was painful at one point, was that we need to push through the pain, but then we need to voluntarily put ourselves in the places of pain. Like, there's no growth in the comfort zone, but there's no comfort in the growth zone. Like, pain and potential discomfort is where you grow, where you advance in life. Like, doing the same old things, like the easy things in life, you're never going to grow. Like, you can do what's hard and necessary, or do what's easy and it's not going to move you forwards. Like, you need to do the hard things which are going to move you forward to where you want to be in your life eventually in the future. So put yourself in the center of discomfort, because that's where your next level of life is. Like I say to anyone, voluntarily heading towards pain may seem quite daunting. However, taking small and frequent steps to expose yourself to fear and discomfort on a regular basis will help build the courage that you need to withstand the pain that you once thought you could not bear. Because courage is the prerequisite to confidence. Courage is just fear in action. Like, the more courageous you become, the more confident that you'll end up becoming as well in the future. So if you get the choice to become confident, to become courageous, where you say, look, I'm not feeling too great about this situation, but I'm going to take a step forward knowing that on the other side of this potential pain or fear is the next best version of me, is the next level of life that I want to get to, then that is the courage, and then that will eventually evolve into confidence over time. So yeah, just know that courage is what's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be, because courage is just like a muscle, and it is strengthened with use. You know, like, the more courageous you become, the more confidence and the more stronger that you're going to become in the future. So for anyone listening to this, from what I learned last night and from what I can tell anyone, is that do the things that scare you until they don't. Do the things that feel discomfort, that feel uncomfortable, and the things that you really don't want to do, because in the future, the things that you do want to do, or that you're quite scared of doing, it's going to be so much more easier to put yourself in those places of discomfort in the future. So yeah, I've got one more ceremony tomorrow in the day, so catch up with me tomorrow and we'll see where we get on. So thank you everybody, and we'll speak tomorrow.